All right, welcome back to the show. It is September 15th, and yes, it is the Hot Chip Challenge Day. Anyone looking for that great content, it's going to be towards the end of our episode. And we are officially back here in the great state of Iowa. Thank the Lord. We are getting off our vacation from Las Vegas. And Bryce, we talked about how we love going to vacations, but our favorite part is coming back to Iowa. That doesn't hold any more true than when you go to Las Vegas and you're ready to get the hell out of there and get back to the state.
I'm in trouble. I'm not doing well at all today.
No, we're actually recording about 5 hours later than what we typically do because we were not in the right state of mind this morning. I know as sure as hell we still aren't in the right state of mind, but people bear with us. We're going to get through this episode today. We're going to recap Vegas, and we're going to cap everything off with the world's deadliest challenge chip. Terrible day.
I can't believe you have to do the world's hottest chip. Coming off this hangover, I felt like I was going to be fine. We actually flew out yesterday, and I didn't drink yesterday. I honestly stopped drinking at Topgolf in Vegas. I had a pretty good time. I didn't even finish the night on Saturday night, so I thought I was going to be totally fine. Somehow, some way, I am in complete shambles, and I cannot imagine having to do the world's hottest chip today.
It should almost be like a challenge itself. Is like challenge A, do the world's hottest chip. Challenge B, go to Vegas, come back, and then do the world's hottest chip. I mean, I couldn't have signed up for anything worse.
Yep, and for those that forgot or just tuning in for the first time, Nate and I lost a bet against Mason Magruder, the former Barstool Iowa State admin, and we wagered this CyHawk game, and it didn't fall in the Hawkeyes' favor, and so we will be shotgunning one of the NIL beers. I decided to go with the Ames Lager on screen, and Nate's got his Cyclone Power, and that part of the challenge is coming on Friday, and you can find that on our Instagram. And Mason will be very, very happy to see that, us supporting Iowa State NIL and the next 5-star recruit for the Cyclones. But the first part of that challenge will be completed today.
So I was originally going to do the world's hottest chip, and then during the process of suffering, I was going to shotgun one of the beers. I decided
I'm so glad you're not doing that.
I thought it would actually kind of nice, you know? If I was suffering so bad in the mouth, I'm like, ooh, a nice cold beer shotgun. Keep my mind off it for at least, 5-8 seconds. But
maybe.
After what we did in Vegas, my body needs a break from many more.
I've considered sobriety a few times. The last couple of years, I'd say. I am severely, severely considering it. We have one more wedding, and I think I want to kind of cool things off until Halloween because this is not sustainable.
Halloween. See, there's a problem.
Sobriety.
Yeah, it's like it's every time when you have a big bender like this, you're like, I'm done, never drink it again, no way in hell. And then we actually start a good cycle for a couple days, maybe a week or two, and then you feel really good and you have a couple beers, and then it's a psycho trap. There's no doubt about it. But my life has been better, I would say, in the last couple years. I'm more of like a buzzaholic.
Me too.
So often our friend gets married in Vegas and you got to go.
Yeah. And what a great experience. Like first time, I'll say this, it's a great excuse for my first time going to Vegas. Scotty B completes his 3-part wedding. First part, Budapest. Second part, Waverly reception for friends and family in Northeast Iowa. And then we get some Iowa crew and some of Dusty's Utah family to go to Vegas. And honestly, I don't know if I ever had the intentions of putting Vegas on my radar, on my calendar, and booking those flights. It always sounded fun. It didn't necessarily check all the boxes for me as far as a dream vacation. After going, I think I'd go back. I do need a little break from it. In a few words, how would you summarize the weekend, the wedding, everything? Big takeaways.
Vegas, always death taxes. Vegas wins. Fun, but it was time to get the hell out of there. I don't think I've ever wanted to be more in Iowa than I ever in the last day there. Or at least that morning traveling. Oh my God, I want to hear your side of the story because this is my third time being there. I'll give you more of my recap after I hear your side of the story about your first experience. I think you were kind of dealt a good hand of cards here. Going with a bunch of friends. You got the full experience. You got to see the wedding chapel thing in Vegas.
Yep.
Fremont, the Strip. I want to hear it from your end.
Yeah, I'd say it was great having some structure because I can see it becoming quickly one of those things where you make your own fun. It becomes really expensive. Vegas is definitely throwing things at you, but you have to truly go find your trouble if you're staying off the Strip, which we did. We weren't on Fremont. We weren't on the Strip. I think if I did that again, that whole experience, I'd want to be closer to Fremont or the Strip. I thought it was fun overall. It was fun, obviously, to take in the sights the first night. I thought overall, just where we were, too much walking around. I do enjoy gambling. I think I need 24 hours of it, though. I don't need 48 to 72 hours of it. Great crew. The Whitechapel was awesome. I think that was like one of the best ways to do a wedding. So maybe that, user error on our part. We did technically have a family obligation to maybe go a little bit longer, but for those that just came for like that Friday night into like Sunday morning, I feel like that would have been like the perfect setup. You just get bang, 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 action. You have like more of a reason to be there. So that part of it was really, really fun. It's crazy. My fiance does not like to gamble, and I feel like if we were to go back, we would have to spend even more money on shows and entertainment and stuff to keep ourselves busy, because she's not one to just sit by me and watch me play blackjack for 5 hours straight. Had I had more luck, maybe even more fun, but truthfully, like, it's one of those places where you better bring $1,000 to lose on the tables and the slots and another $1,500 for entertainment. So very expensive, lots of fun sights. I'm a city guy, but truthfully, I would have been just as happy driving 3 hours north and going to Bryce Canyon and Zion and some of that stuff. The older I get, the more I'd rather do that nature stuff. But really fun weekend overall. Congrats again to Scott and Dusty. After hearing my recap, do you have any inputs? Because you've done it a couple different ways, over the course of 8 years?
Yeah. First time we went were for Jeremy's 21st birthday, which we stayed right on the Strip. And if I'm recommending to 21-year-olds, go stay on the Strip. It's going to be expensive, though, obviously, and very hectic. As a 30-year-old, I loved where we stayed. We stayed, a mile away from the Strip.
Yep.
I loved it. It was very low-key. We stayed at the Silver 7, kind of a gungy little hotel. It's fine. It's fine. Some stories, but nothing crazy. But I liked the space away from the Strip. Mm-hmm. I liked it a lot. It was a little more low-key, not as overwhelming. Drinks were much cheaper at this hotel. I mean, they're a quarter of the cost of what you would pay in the Strip. We went to the Strip just once or twice.
I went 3 times, but twice as a big group. And one time I spent $28 on a vodka Red Bull, which I have never done or will never do again in my life. But yeah, $3 beers at Silver Sevens, you can't beat that.
Yeah, you're losing a bunch of money, and now you gotta go pay for a $28 vodka Red Bull. I remember you hitting that. That's crazy. Just a typical beer is $12, and back at the Silver 7 it was only $3. Mm-hmm. So I enjoyed that aspect, especially much as a 30-year-old. And I'm fine just not ever going to the Strip again. We went that one night. It was just so busy. There's people everywhere, and I remember that from last time. And there's a lot of walking around, going to a machine, losing money, then paying for your $12 freaking beer. I was over the Strip. But this time, we took our virginity going to Fremont. I didn't know Fremont looked like that.
Fremont's really cool.
It was like an indoor city.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we got to throw up pictures for that because Fort Queens, Fremont Street Hotel, I think is where you and I sat and lost a bunch of money. Yeah, I mean, I think we saw a quarter of the Strip, and that was one of the coolest parts, and we were only there for like an hour and a half. So I'd like to do that again. I say right now, because I'm feeling like I do, that I would not want to go back to the Strip, but I probably would stay on the Strip, maybe get a show or a concert at the Sphere. There's a few things that I didn't do that I'm like, maybe that would have expanded the experience. But again, it was really the reason for being there was the wedding. So true. Yeah, Silver Sevens was good. I think it fits our age demo. Really, it was a nostalgic place for Scott and his dad. So it was good that we stayed there.
Dude, the Sphere. I want to talk about that quick. We didn't go to it. I mean, if I lied. If I'm gonna go back to Vegas, I'm definitely gonna go to the Strip and go to the Sphere. The Sphere is way bigger than I thought it would be.
Yep.
Massive, and it's so cool at night. It's so cool. It's one of the coolest things I've seen, and we're a half a mile away from it.
Yeah,
They really got
we
that up
were
to
close.
it?
Yep. Yeah, and to your earlier point about the crowds, we were also there during the Canelo and Crawford fight, which happened on the Saturday night of the wedding that we were celebrating. So I think that added to the crowded strip experience. And then, God, what was it on? Oh, I think it was also like Latino Heritage celebration and a home Las Vegas game. So just insane crowds that definitely deterred the experience because like when we wanted to go from one casino to the next, we're just log jammed.
Mm-hmm.
So,
and I mean, look at the way we're feeling right now, Bryce. If we stayed on the strip, you don't think Vegas has consumed us now? Imagine what it would do to us in 3 days alone on the strip.
well, I just don't think we could do a friend's spring break style strip experience. I don't think I'm built for that. And I could, but I'd probably have to take off like part of the next couple days after we got back because I feel mostly my brain is mush. Can't hardly form a thought.
I have, yeah. I woke up the same idea, Bryce. I'm like, when is my sobriety life starts now? Until Friday when we got the shotgun.
Oh yeah, we got to do that.
Locked.
Yeah, I already forgot. Okay, speaking of shotgun and some of these Ames loggers, we were definitely busy. We had a little party bus, a Whitechapel wedding, and then some after reception at Topgolf where we caught some of the Hawkeye game. I missed the Cyclones game, so I'm gonna lean on you and whatever you know from that game. I know you got some weather stuff to get to first before we kind of dive into some of the other parts of the show, but I completely missed that. Not enough football for me this weekend, and it was super weird. I couldn't even use my sports books. I thought in Vegas I'd have like access to every single sports book.
Yeah, I was reaching out to my cousin Chris for our bookie back in the state. Right, the most gambling place in the world, and we couldn't even use our sports books.
All my books were locked.
Yeah. Let's just jump in the weather.
Let's do it.
This show. Okay, September 15th here, Bryce. It's warmer. We left Iowa at a good time actually. I think we missed most of the heat. Went down to Vegas.
We missed second summer.
Yes, thank God. But we got a high of 83 degrees today. For September 15th, all-time high. It was set back in 1927, right before World War II. We had 100 degrees right on the dot. That's just nice. Every time we move in farther in this podcast, Bryce, you can see the high temperature, record highs, slowly creeping a little bit down. We're moving towards autumn season, baby. It's getting me a little excited. Lowest temperature ever recorded was 30 degrees Fahrenheit, set back in 2007. That's not that long ago. That's fucking cold.
That's cold.
Most rain, 1.51 inches, set back in 2016. Your average high of 75 degrees.
So right before we left, it was getting pretty dry, and then you really experience dry when you go down to the desert.
Yes.
And I think Colby had mentioned at some point we had like 30% on the God, I forget the name of that thing, but like extremely low humidity when we were down in Vegas. It was so good to come back, not to necessarily the heat and humidity, but just to have some of that non-dry skin again, because autumn is coming, but I'm not ready for like cracked lips and stuff.
Yeah. Well, I always have cracked lips anyways because my nose is so bad that I'm always plugged. Yeah. So I'm always breathing on my mouth. I use chapstick every day of my life. It sucks. I'm in a bad cycle. But no, it is nice having that feeling on your skin where it doesn't feel like the Grand Canyon is cracking open inside of you.
The word I was looking for is dew point, for those that were wondering. Yeah, a little bit better dew point today. Did feel very, very hot. Like we had some 90-degree days in Vegas. 83 here feels like maybe hotter than anything I experienced while I was down there.
Just sticky. But Bryce, massive day here in the history of Iowa on September 15th. September 15th, 1903, the Amish Iowa Post Office in Johnson County, which had been open since 1857, closed.
That's what we had today.
That's not a lot going on in Iowa. Yep, that's the most we had. I did some deep dive into that shit is taking place here on September 15th.
I'm sorry I looked at the show notes because I kind of ruined the punchline there, but I couldn't believe what I was looking at. We've had some really good on this day in Iowa. That's probably the worst one we've had, but it's fitting for the way that we're feeling right now.
Yeah. No, right?
That's perfect. That's tragic.
So the Amish are grieving today at the post office. They're right near Kelowna, Iowa, too, Johnson County. So
yeah,
I had to hit them hard. Hopefully they're able to share their news a little bit easier today.
Okay, what do we got?
Same thing here It's Iowa news is pretty chill, man. It's pretty relaxed.
Okay, good.
We're going back to lottery winners. We had the big $1.8 billion winner last week
Mm-hmm,
in Texas and I think Missouri. Split between two winners.
Yeah,
However,
Missouri was
Bryce,
kind of a big one.
and we talked about Iowans taking away like $500,000 in collective prizes last week.
Mm-hmm.
Well, this week, Bryce, $1 million prize winning Powerball ticket was sold in Western Iowa. The Iowa Lottery says that a Powerball ticket sold at Kimmy's Denison County or Country Store in Denison has won a $1 million prize.
Fuck yeah. That's awesome.
I hope
bring that
person,
money back as a Hawkeye fan.
I was going to say, I hope that person is a huge Iowa Hawkeye fan.
Yeah, you said that last week when we talked about winning the lottery. That would be one of the first things you did, and I agree. I think after watching us destroy UMass, imagine if UMass was like Texas or Alabama, and we were putting up those kind of numbers because we had donated so much money to these 5-star recruits. The more I thought about what you said last week, I agree. But do we know who this guy is, or is he an anonymous winner?
I'm sure they announced it somewhere. I didn't do any deep diving, but I do have a list of Iowa's top 10 biggest lottery jackpot winners. Would you like to hear this list?
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay, coming at number 10, Bryce, it was in 1990. Allen and Royce Earls won $19.6 million.
Big
I don't
win.
know the town. Ninth place, 2007, John Hall of Indianola won $19.9 million on the Hot
Great
Lotto.
Hall.
Yep. Number 8, 1999, Timothy Schultz of Des Moines, $28 million Powerball.
Okay, now we're getting up there. I like that.
Yep. 2000, I think some of these numbers are going to surprise you here. 2000, Haskin family of Sabula. I'm pretty sure, is that the only island town in Iowa? They could have just bought the island.
Yeah. The only island town in Iowa, correct.
They won $31.8 million back in 2000. Crazy. Yeah, they could probably literally buy that island. 2023, the Earl Lappy of Dubuque won $40 million. Damn, that was 2 years ago. Shit. Good for you.
Yeah, a lot of these are very recent, which is the most surprising.
2006 was Hugh Hawkins of Des Moines, $113.2 million. Also in 2006, Bryce, Tim and Kelly Goodyear, whatever that
Tough
name
one.
is,
Yep, tough one.
of Fort Dodge, holy shit, won $200.8 million.
Can you imagine becoming a 100 millionaire overnight?
Oh my God, I wouldn't have to go to work and suffer this hangover anymore. 2012, Brian and Mary Lose of Bondurant took home $202.1 million. Bryce, we're now into the top two, the biggest lottery winners here in the state of Iowa history. I think this is the coolest one. In 2012, the Shipping 20, which were a bunch of coworkers at the Cedar Rapids Quaker Oats plant, won $241 million Powerball.
That's awesome. No better feeling than winning with your buddies, your friends. That would be so fun.
Oh my God. Can you imagine you're working at Quaker Oats every day of your life and you and the boys all working there?
Uh-huh.
Won
You know that they
$200
talked about it every single day. It's like, what if we never had to work this forklift again? And they did it.
Variable. And they did legendary. 2000. I'd like to hear that story of when they found out how they won. All right, 2018, Bryce. This is the largest lottery jackpot winner of all time in the state of Iowa. 2018, Learn West of Redfield, Iowa, took home $343.9 million.
Unbelievable. I really like the ones where they're winning in a town of like less than 10,000 because you literally could buy the town.
That's almost scary.
All these numbers are just wild because they're all life changing, but 300 million is crazy.
Mm-hmm. You almost don't want to win it in a small town. Then everybody there is like, "Oh, I'm your best friend. What's up, man?"
Oh yeah,
you
true.
know. You almost want to be in like a mid-sized big city. Yeah, you
But
almost got to win it. You almost got to win it and go ghost mode for a year. Take $3 million of that, go live somewhere
True.
else where nobody knows
True.
who you are. Get away.
I bet the bar tab, if you opened it for the entire town in Redfield, would not be that expensive though. Might be kind of fun to be the king of your town.
It would be.
But I see what you're saying. Do see what you're saying. Congrats to all those winners. That's a lot of like, what, 1990 was the latest one you mentioned? So all these people are still probably living large.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no shit. 1990, then after that was 1999. So
Well, congrats to the most recent winner.
we need more Hawkeye winners winning these Powerballs. Keep purchasing lottery tickets, University of Iowa. Take all the Swarm Collective and buy nothing but Powerball. We got to risk it. We got to risk a biscuit. The way we're doing it, we got to win a national championship.
I couldn't
Brian
agree more.
Heinrichs, I think is his name, the leader of Swarm. Embezzle all that money and spend it all on lottery tickets. Risk it. I don't care. We got to do something different here. Well, let's get into our frustration.
Yeah, speaking of a national championship looking team.
Yeah, well, you know what? They didn't look too bad this weekend. And like you said, we were busy in Las Vegas. And right at this time, actually, no, that was the Iowa State game. At this time, we were at the Top Golf. So we were able to catch a little bit of it. And right away, Gronowski looked comfortable. He was making some good throws. Looked like he settled into the game a little bit more here in week 3 for Iowa as they handle the UMass Minutemen. What a name, by the way. 47-7.
Yeah, I think the in-between looks I got at the game, the most exciting part, I guess Colby luckily had the game on his phone, and we were able to look at some replays. Gronowski did look a lot more comfortable. If that's the case, I know it's the UMass Minutemen. If he looks like that the rest of the season, we have a hope. We have a little bit of a hope for the rest of the year.
Gronowski, Bryce goes 16 for 24, 179 yards, and 2 TDs through the air, 12 rushing yards for 1 TD. Passing-wise, I'm fine with that. If you can get me 2 TDs, you're taking care of the ball, 180 yards. I'd like to see that over 200 yards. However, I want to see him rushing for at least 30 yards a game.
Yeah, he has the legs to scramble. You'd like to see that number up. I honestly, in this game stats, I'm not that worried about. It's a little unimpressive, like you're saying, that it's not over 200 yards passing. I can't remember the stat. It's been a long, long time since we've had a quarterback for over 300. I think it's even been a minute since 200, if I'm not mistaken. So you'd like to see those numbers up a little bit. Either way, I like the way he was moving in the pocket. I like his deep ball. We had a couple plays where I'm like, I haven't seen plays like that in what feels like a couple years. I'm sure we've had a few, but I'm down to open the playbook as long as Mark is getting more and more comfortable.
Yeah, Sam Phillips was one of those receivers. He had a really nice long grab. He had 3 receptions for 75 yards, and this is the transfer from Chattanooga senior, which sucks because I've heard nothing but great things about this guy coming into the season. He was ultimately on the depth chart, took over the number 1 receiving spot ahead of Reese Vanderzee, who we had pretty high hopes going into the season. That people are saying, and the coaching staff is saying, Sam Phillips is a playmaker, and that's what Iowa needs, especially with the lack of Caleb Johnson now. Iowa needs a playmaker to burst something open, right? Get out of our stupid Iowa script and have a guy that can just make plays and get downfield and stretch the game out. And I think this could be our guy.
I don't care who it is. I totally agree with what you just said. Is there any timeline on Vanderzee coming back?
God, I haven't heard anything in weeks. Before the season started, I thought they said 3 to 4 weeks. So we're probably tiptoeing that line. It could be
probably getting close.
The next week or two. Like I said, I just haven't seen any news on him. I think fans have been so pissed off about Iowa offense that whatever we threw into the receiving core, it wasn't going to freaking matter. But if Gronowski is starting to look a little bit more comfortable and is able to deliver some passes, we can start getting excited about Iowa football again here. But I'm not going to. We just played the Massachusetts Minutemen, one of the worst teams in all of college football, Division II. And like I said, we're week 3. We don't know damn thing about this team yet. Now, is it nice to look at a team take care of the ball and look comfortable, versus how they did against Albany? And we're like, what the hell is this? Even though they still won by 30 points. We did some things through the air, and it is what it is. But Iowa has their next test here Friday for the 3rd night game of the year already in week 4 at Rutgers.
Yeah, who looks decent. Rutgers has played absolutely nobody so far. At least, on paper, some of these smaller schools might have been a little bit better than I'm giving them credit for. But either which way, they're handling business. They had a close game against Ohio, it looks like, but just took down Norfolk State by 50. And if you can score 60 points, that means you have something going on. And if we're celebrating UMass Minutemen, you damn well sure that they're celebrating that win. So to me, this seems like a tough matchup. What do you know about Rutgers?
Rutgers is season or week 1 through 4 national champions every year. The strength is good. It's the same shit every year. I was thinking Scarlet Knights are somehow 3-0, 4-0, and then they lose that first game, and then they're screwed. They go 6-6 at best, usually for the rest of the season. I do like their head coach. I like what he's brought to their program here in the last 6 years. It's definitely a change of culture there. They were getting embarrassed by younger schools or smaller schools. And now they can compete with some of these some of the mid-tier teams in the Big Ten,
right,
where they can make themselves, somewhat of a threat. And things don't change overnight, but they've been slowly changing over here at Rutgers, and they're going to be excited for this game. Anytime your team is 3-0 and you've been one of the laughing stocks of your conference for the last decade, and you can start the season undefeated, and you got a decent school coming in on a Friday night, the spotlight on you, the crowd's going to be up for it. It's going to be a challenge. It ain't going to be easy. Iowa never makes anything fucking easy, so you know that.
Yeah, for sure. At home, they'll be fired up. Iowa, unproven. What do you think we get from the Hawkeyes this week?
Run game.
Let's open up the floodgates on the run game, huh?
I'm not sold on the passing yet, but you got to be able to pass the ball a little bit downfield to open up the run game. We have a deep backfield of running backs, and Nathan McNeil, who everybody's really excited about, that freshman coming from Florida, who some say gives them little visions of Akron Wildley and how his agility and quickness laterally and north to south can work. And you kind of saw that here this last week. I think he had 10 rushes, 56 yards, was our second leading receiver. He's a freshman, you're not looking for 300-yard gains, but slowly progress each week and get more comfortable into the unit. I'd like to say Nathan McNeil make a play. Sam Phillips especially make a play. And Caden Weegan, by the way, had a 95-yard touchdown
awesome
punt return last week, and he was on my shit list from the Iowa State game. So I want to see him continue to be confident. You're one of the best returners in the country. What the hell is the Iowa State game about? Okay, I know you got it in the fucking bag. Get it and go. Win on the special teams. Take care of the football, and let's take care of Rutgers. It's not
he is one of those guys. You want the ball in his hands, but now's the time to heat up. You got Big Ten play coming. Indiana ranked next week. Penn State in less than a month at this point. It's time to figure out what kind of team we got going. On the other side, a team that we thought might be college football playoff lock, Iowa State, did not look very good against a Arkansas State team last week.
Iowa State's all of our pregame talk about Iowa State, we've been wrong every time.
Yeah.
Whatever we say, they do the opposite. We go into the South Dakota game. We say that it's going to be a close one. They blow them out by 50 points. Now we start believing in cyclone football again. They say, okay, now they're going to go to Arkansas State. No problem. They're going to take care of business. Wrong. We had flashbacks versus Ohio a couple years ago when Iowa State traveled to Athens and took down that loss to the Bobcats. As Iowa State holds off Arkansas State, Red Bulls 24-16. And this game was a whole lot scarier than what that score even looks like. I think Arkansas State was down 4 at one point with about 5 minutes to go in the game. Scored a touchdown, got called back, illegal pick screen. The very next play, the quarterback ran for like a 25-yard touchdown, got called back for holding.
No
so
way.
back-to-back plays got called back, and the screen pick play was a bad call. It was the right call. However, the holding, a lot of questions.
Controversial?
About this.
Okay.
Very controversial, especially now that you go back-to-back calls and take 2 TDs off the board.
Yeah, it's hard for me to give too much commentary, but the fact that you had a chance to win, I know that made Cyclone fans uneasy, probably made you question what the rest of the year looks like, and we talked about it last week. The way that it's shaping up, it doesn't look like the Cyclones have had very many significant wins yet. Iowa's not looked great. Kansas State is floundering with different programs that you thought before the year that they should beat. So I think now we're looking at Iowa State looking for their first signature win as they begin Big 12 play. But they do, what is this? They go into a bye?
They go into the bye week, and now Iowa State officials just announced a night game at Ames versus Arizona Wildcats, 6:30 kickoff next week.
Okay, so that'll be marquee TV, and probably a great time for a bye week, to be honest. You go in unscathed, you get the job done. I think this is everything that Campbell probably wanted. I don't think he...
Yeah, looking at the season, we looked at this 4-game stretch, and we said, outside of Iowa, we said, there's a trap game in here.
Yep.
And most of these trap games were looked at the Arkansas State and the South Dakota. One of these weird teams might get the job done. You went, like you said, unscathed versus South Dakota, took care of business, but the Arkansas State Red Wolves snuck up on them. You got the dub. You're 4-0, heading to bye week. You're fine.
It's probably everything that Campbell wants. I'm sure it's not what the fans want to see, but he was one of those guys saying that he thinks that they have one of the tougher schedules as far as like having to travel overseas, go on the road against some teams that he felt like they should have at home. So yeah, go into the bye week, get your mind right for Big 12 play, and truthfully, everything is still fine because you have the W in an otherwise ugly game. Nate? We've done our best to filibuster. We've talked about all aspects of Vegas. I feel like we named every building in Las Vegas just so we could give you a little bit more time before we finally had to devour the world's hottest chip. But now it is time. How do you feel?
I prayed we had more shit to talk about, Bryce.
Nothing.
This last couple weeks, I've lost sleep. You know, I have. I've lost sleep thinking about this chip. I've done it before. For the people who don't know, we did this, I don't even know, half a year ago? I don't remember. Or was it more than that?
Back in February, I think, during basketball season.
Okay. What the hell did I do that for, by the way? I just do it just to do it?
I think you were trying to get some clickbait, and
I was.
And I respect the hell out of that. You'll do anything for clicks, and unfortunately, we've said it a few times on the show, it did not get recorded. If it doesn't, for some reason, get recorded this time, are you worried about what people might say about
Yeah, I would
your
be.
character? Yeah.
I would be.
So here's what I'm going to do. Just in case, I'm going to also get my phone up while you consume the pepper.
Thank you.
Or the chip.
Okay. We need some type of proof. A little bit more story on this chip before we get into it.
Mm-hmm.
Again, we lost our bet to Mason, outside the lines, founder, creator. We're going to shotgun Iowa State beers, donate some money to NIL. And I also threw in there that I was going to consume the world's hottest chip. It's the dumbest thing I've ever done. Thought I would win that game. And I've done the world's hottest pepper. Mm-hmm. And I'm trying to compare the two. And the world's hottest pepper lasts longer, but the world's hottest chip has a tighter punch to it. And that's what scares the hell out of me about this chip, Bryce.
And now you know what it entails. So does it make you more nervous?
Oh yeah, by far. I'm shaking. The last time I did it, I'm like, this can't be that bad. I've done the world's hottest pepper. Sure, it might hurt a little bit. It fucking hurt last time.
The taste is terrible.
The textures, oh god. I think the worst part's the texture. The last time I did, I know people are, get off the ship. I'm buying as much fucking time as I can before I get in this because I'm genuinely scared about this fucking thing. The last time I touched a chip and I rubbed my eye, and it fucking hurt.
Mm-hmm.
And
Don't do that again.
It hurt so damn bad, and at that point I knew.
Did you prepare yourself any better? Do you have milk around, spit bowls? What do we?
No. Yeah, I got a spit bowl. So you guys, you're gonna hear some cuss words during this consumption of the hottest chip. I got a Gatorade, water, napkins, and that's about it. And the emergency case will be the milk in the fridge, but nothing really works. That's only times your best ally here. And I'm gonna try and give some updates throughout this, and just brace yourself for what you're about to see, people. I'm gonna try and tell this out as much as I possibly can. So without further ado.
Okay.
Shit!
Let's make sure that we don't lose any footage here.
Okay. Yep, here it is, people.
Something didn't record. There's the chip. Quick swig.
Get this mouth ready. Gatorade. Okay. My first mistake was I opened the bag without my glove last time. Today's the day. We are opening the chip. Oh my god, I'm so fucking
Hold on. Make sure that you showed on screen what you're grabbing. Okay. Okay, we trust you.
It's so dry.
Thing looks so bad.
It's terrible. We've now consumed it.
World's hottest pepper. World's hottest chip. 2-time champion Nathan Creeps in the midst of a battle right now. Last time I think you coughed it through your nose last time, I think. Don't do that again. Oh my God. What a frickin' champion.
It's
unbelievable.
9.8 out of 10.
In flavor?
There's nothing.
I'm going to guess spice level on that. How we doing?
Mason.
You, for those that do or don't remember, Nate volunteered this. Mason wagered a shotgun. Nathan was so confident that the Hawkeyes were going to win, he volunteered the chip. This is self-induced pain.
It's fucking terrible. My tongue burns more than anything. Madison, milk!
Oh, yeah, I don't think you had Madison around last time.
I can feel it in my eyes.
What's help? Is water better? Gatorade?
Gatorade.
Yeah, okay. Is it better? Is it getting better at all? Or is it getting worse?
I can't fucking do it anymore.
Okay, he's back. How are we feeling, Nate?
There are 50 states in this country. And every single state, they need to outlaw. Make it illegal. Make this ship should not get into our borders. I don't care if I'm sounding bad about it, but that shit sucked. That was worse than last time.
Okay. The official World's Hottest Ship review, it should be illegal. I can't believe you did it twice. The fact that you knew what you're getting into probably would have deterred me from ever touching that thing again, but you did it, and you were prepared. You didn't spit all over the carpet. Not sure how much Madison time we're going to be keeping into this show, but she was able to fill in for a second. She was very proud of you for keeping a lot of the chip off the carpet. Hopefully they can hear some of the yells, because that was truly horrifying. Proud of you, and the Hawkeyes let you down. I'm sorry.
This one's on you, Kirk.
Yep.
Some stats here. Went through 2 full waters, 2 full Gatorades, 3/4 of a gallon of milk. Wow. To soothe the mouth. Right now, my mouth's currently, I don't know, how deep are we into this? Am I 15 minutes in since I ate the chip?
Oh, yeah, roughly. Yep.
15. So
I think we ended, you got to be 15 minutes in.
So right now, I'm at like a 4. My lips hurt. My mouth hurts yet. Mm-hmm. The texture is by far the worst part about this chip. No matter how hard you would even try to swallow it, you can't. There's just no fucking way.
Ugh.
You can't. I got a little bit in me.
It looks like the worst Dorito you could ever have.
Oh,
just kind of what it looks like from the outside.
This chip, are my lips swollen? This chip is way, way worse than you think it would be. Mm-hmm. You're people to think it's a chip. There's no way it's worse. I think I would rather do the world's hottest pepper. I don't know. I guess the world's hottest pepper lasts for about 40 minutes of pain. This is a good, really, really shitty 10 minutes of pain.
Okay, for anyone that's interested after watching, I'm not sure why you would be. Anyone interested, what would be your tips on cooling yourself down? What was working best? Water, Gatorade, milk?
Nothing. Nothing works.
Okay.
The second, I think my lips are actually swollen. The second you spit anything out, it hurts. And it hurts why it's in there too.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah,
so your official recommendation is to just not do it at all.
Don't fucking do it. Don't make this bet. I'm done. I'm officially retired from the world's hottest chip. I'll not be doing it again ever. I don't care if the odds are 100 to 1. I won't do it. No way am I put my life on this for this chip anymore.
Okay, that's
the texture.
Official.
I wish someone can just take the seasoning off it and you can just try the texture. Maybe the seasoning makes the texture so much. I don't know. It's impossible to consume. And this thing, listen, guys, the last 3 days were long. And my body thought it had a break. And I came home to the world's hottest chip.
And you did it. I hope that Cyclone fans are happy watching somebody on the opposition side suffer. Hopefully you enjoyed watching that. I mean, it's not a great viewing experience seeing somebody just absolutely get annihilated, but a bet is a bet. You had to do it.
I did it, and I feel victimized. I really do. I'm like shook up right now about it. That could be the withdrawals from Las Vegas. It's probably everything.
Yeah.
It did something to me emotionally for the last 2 weeks, and especially now.
We didn't even talk about how much money we lost gambling. Let's not even talk about it. You're in a rough spot right now. Let's recover. Enjoy the rest of our nights. Win some money back on Monday Night Football. Hopefully people enjoy your suffering. Any last words? Okay, let's get the hell out of here.
Just west of the Mississippi.